Hello everyone, this is Anil. In this video, I'll include some of the practice examples related to block diagram reduction techniques. In this video, I'll discuss how to find transfer function for a given block diagram. So in exams, we can expect block diagram in this way, and we have to find the overall transfer function. Okay, transfer function is output by input. I have included here 4 examples, so we solve one by one. So in exam, when the block diagram is given, just focus on forward path and feedback path. Forward path and feedback path. Forward path, we keep it in numerator. Feedback path, it will be in denominator. For this diagram, the moment you see the question, focus on forward path for writing numerator part. Okay. So in forward path here, 3 blocks are added. Okay. So here resultant will be 1 plus G2 plus G3. Here we have G1 times here we have G4. So this is what I have written here numerator part. In numerator, we write the forward path. So in the forward path, we have G1. All these things are in parallel. So we have to add it 1 plus G2 plus G3 and then we have G4. So this completes our numerator part. And how do we write denominator part? Denominator part is concerned with feedback path. So focus on feedback path. You see here, this is one of the feedback path. Okay. And one more is this feedback path. Okay. I'm highlighting with marker. This is one feedback path. So when you write feedback path, right, multiply with negative sign. Multiply with negative sign. Already we have negative sign. This negative sign and this negative sign, overall it become positive. Okay, and multiply forward path and feedback path. G4 times H. G4 times H. When we write overall loop, focus on this thing. Whatever we have numerator, right, write as it is downward. Okay, G1, 1 plus G2, G3, G4. Okay, since we have in feedback path is 1. So whatever we have numerator, same thing will appear in the denominator and we have to multiply with minus sign and we already have minus sign. So minus into minus plus. This completes question 1. Now come to question 2. So for this block diagram, we need to find the transfer function, output by input. As explained in question 1, focus on forward path. Okay. Here we have only one forward path. When we move from input to output, we have only one forward path. And we have blocks G1, G2, G3, G4. Okay. That thing I have completed in numerator. Now come to denominator. So for denominator, let me erase it. Sorry. Okay. So focus on, so for denominator, focus on feedback path. So this is one feedback path. Okay. This is one feedback path. Let me write it as loop L1. And this is one feedback path. Okay, let me use marker only. So this is one feedback path. Okay, and one more is this feedback path. Okay, and one more is, sorry, let me use different pen. So one more is this feedback path. Okay, the moment you see the problem, identify the feedback path. Then it becomes easy. And one more is this feedback path, and the other is this feedback path. Okay, so once we find out the feedback path, we mention it in denominator. So so this is loop L1. Okay, so we have to multiply with minus n, minus into minus plus G1 H1. So let me take this as L2. So in L2 we have G1 G2 H2. So same thing written here, G1 G2 and H2. We have to multiply with negative sign. Let me take this as L3. In L3 we have G1 G2 G3 and 1. So G1 G2 G3 and we have to multiply with negative sign, negative into negative positive. Let me take it as L4. So in L4 we have G1, G2, G3, G4 and we have H3. Same thing written here, G1, G2, G3, G4 and H3. Okay, and we have to multiply with negative sign. Already we have negative sign here. So minus into minus plus. That's why I written here plus. This completes your question 2. So this is how you have to solve block diagram to find out the transfer function for a given block diagram. In this problem, so this is the input and this is the output, and we are feeding some additional signal here. Okay, some additional signal is coming here to this signal R. So we want to shift this additional signal from here to here. Then how the block diagram will change? That is the question here. So see here, this is the additional signal added. So when you move from input to output, okay, when you move from input to output, okay, what we have here? We have G1, G4, G5. Okay. So when you move this summing point here, the resultant should be same. G1, G4, G5. So I have shifted this incoming signal from here to here. So now the resultant is, just forget about it, G3. So the resultant will be, say we have only G1. So G1, G3, okay, G4, G5. But we need G1, G4, G5. So we have to divide by G3. Then this term will be get eliminated. That's why I had taken here divided by G3. Okay. So that the resultant will be same from here and here. So this is how, if we shift the signal, right? So this is how you have to do it. Now come to question 4. Same way, we are given with block diagram and we need to find the transfer function. In numerator, as I explained before, okay, focus on forward path. So this is one forward path. Okay, this is one forward path, and the other forward path is this one. Okay, or you can think like G3 plus G4 in parallel, so we have to add it. So G1, G2, G3 plus G4 times G5. Okay, same thing I written here, G1, G2, G3 plus G4, G5. Okay, this completes the numerator part. When it comes to denominator, focus on loop. So this is one loop. I'm naming it as L1. This is one loop. Okay, okay, let's name it as L1 and let's name it as L2. And this is overall loop. Okay, this we name it as L3. So these things will come in denominator. So we have to start like 1 minus, okay, 1 minus, we write loop L1. So in loop L1 we have G2, G3, H1. That's why I have written here, sorry. So that's why I have written here G2, G3, H1, and we have to multiply with minus n, minus into minus plus. Now come to L2. Here we have G5 and H2, G5 and H2, and we have to multiply with negative sign, minus into minus plus. That's why I written here plus. And observe here, L1, L2 are non-touching. Okay, non-touching. So we have to include non-touching loop also when we write denominator. So what we have here, G2, G3, H1, G5 and H2. That's why I written here G2, G3, H1, G5 and H2. When we take even, right, two non-touching loop, we have to multiply with positive sign. Minus into minus plus, and we have to multiply with positive sign. So overall it will become positive. Then we have this outer loop. Okay, this outer loop is we have, for writing outer loop, main loop, whatever we have in the numerator, same thing we include in denominator. Okay, so we have G1, G2, G3, G4, G3 plus G4, G5. Since in feedback we have 1. Okay, and we have to multiply with minus a, minus into minus plus. So this is how you solve transfer function for a given block diagram. Okay, thanks for joining. Thank you.